welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
Today we are here to talk about patron saints for your pets.
Yes, as part of the Summer of Saints, I thought we could do listings of saints for various things. Yeah, patronage, you might be like, I wonder who's in charge of that.
What? Okay, in general, it seems like the only saint who's really talked about in connection with pets is St. Francis of Assisi. You know, on his feast day, a lot of parishes do a blessing of pets.
Mm-hmm.
There is that. Also, apparently, a number of places also do the similar thing for St. Anthony the Great. Because he's also a patron for essentially
everything.
all animals.
Of everything. That guy was, wow.
But I came to this when I'm like, well, I know there's one for dogs. I know who's in charge of cats. I'm just going to, look to see for, like, other popular animals. Like, is there one for your pet fish? And then I Google it, and the answer is yes. Yes, there is.
Fishermen totally expect that.
Yep.
Fishing. Yeah. But
Nope.
for the fish themselves, this is going to be fun. Okay.
All right.
So, where do we start?
Well, let's start out with, just as I mentioned that she's aware of some more basic pet ones. But just for those people out there who maybe aren't aware of them, who would be the patron saint for our dog?
For dogs, there is Saint Roch, also called Saint Rocco, or Saint Hubert.
Oh, I love Saint Hubert.
We did a whole episode on Saint Hubert and Jägermeister, which was an early one, but I will put the info in the bottom so you can learn about him.
He was a hunter, so therefore dogs would have been a primary companion for his hunts.
Yes.
Also, come on, vision of a crucifix between the antlers of a stag. Awesome.
Yes, and Saint Rocco, he had all sorts of stuff happen to him. So at one point of the time, like the only thing he had with him while he was sick and on the run was a dog who was his companion. So.
Yeah.
Then for cats, there's Saint Gertrude of Nivells, which is not the Gertrude of Great. She is also someone who ran
Saint Gertrude the OK.
A convent.
Yep.
And she started out, she was first like against rats, because again,
Yeah.
you're going to have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So then it became for cats, because, what kills the rats?
What kills the rats?
Cats.
Yeah, sure.
Saint Gertrude, the pretty good.
Well, because normally you think the cats, many people are of the opinion that cats are straight from the pit of hell. So it's like, who would be the saint of those? But you have to remember, kitty cats have their uses too.
Yes, although I cannot find one for snakes or reptiles in general.
The serpent ruined that one.
Yeah. But, on to fish.
Fish!
Fish. The patron saint of fish,
Which
not
apparently-
fishermen,
Nope.
not fishing.
The patron saint of Jesus' favorite breakfast.
Is Saint Neot. It's Neot, who was like a early in the Christian era of England monk.
Okay.
If
I
you
think
are,
400s or 500s area.
and if you by chance are familiar with this particular saint and know the proper pronunciation of their name, please put it down in the comments below.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, in that period, you're dealing with the post-Roman Britons who are starting to face Saxon, Anglo, and Jute invaders. So, yeah.
All right, next we have birds.
Birds!
Now, we have two saints that I found for just, in general, birds.
Okay.
So we have Saint Anthony of Egypt, who I think in part of his story was cared for by some birds.
Yep.
And Saint Gall, who I did not find exactly why they're in charge of birds.
Okay.
And then, of course, we already know the patron saint of geese, because we discussed him, which is Saint Martin of Tours.
Right. Normally associate him with the soldiers, but also with the geese. That's right.
Yes.
I remember that now.
I believe the other Saint Martin that we did that same month is the patron saint of mice, although I did not look it up, because I was going to look it up and then I forgot.
Sure. Reasonable.
But we'll have links to those episodes so you can see if we say, mice in there. Now, for other rodent pets, we have one that's for rabbits, in that they're technically in charge of hares, which are wild rabbits. And
Close
different,
enough.
but close. And that is, do you want to pronounce her name?
I would guess that to be Saint Melangell.
Works for me.
And she's, an older saint. That story involves actual rabbits in her life, or, hares.
So not a popular saint in Australia.
No.
Everything on that continent can kill you, but the only thing they fear is rabbits.
I mean, they fear a lot of things, but they just seem to hate the rabbits.
They build whole fences against them. Anyway.
They don't
Horses!
Oh, we forgot pigs.
Oh, we can't skip pigs.
Which is St. Anthony the Great.
I
Because,
should have worn my bacon shirt.
yes, because, the monasteries, when he was in charge, they were allowed to have pigs as, stuff.
Yeah. Again, this is the goodness of the Lord. Not only did he create the pig, but then he repealed the dietary laws so that we could devour the pig.
Yep. So, for horses, we have
Every
St.
cut of which is delicious.
We have St.
Did
Martin of
Jesus
Tours again.
repeal the dietary laws regarding eating pigs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the Lord.
Oh,
All
I'm
things
sorry. I
are
thought you were
created through
referring to St. Anthony.
No, he just reaped
no.
the benefits.
No.
okay.
He just reaped the benefits.
He was just in charge of the monastery right at the point in time when they're like, okay, now you're allowed to have pigs too. Because, early monasteries, they did a lot of fasting. They didn't eat a lot of meat.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of them are basically vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
It's a penance.
so for horses, we have St. Martin of Tours.
Sure.
We have St. Giles and...
St. Eligius.
And from what I could tell, they're all in charge of horses because they rode horses for stuff.
Sure. Totally reasonable.
For cows, we have two saints, one which totally makes sense why they're the patron of cows, and one which I have no idea why they picked this one.
Love it. Okay,
So-
which one makes sense?
St. Brigid of Kildare, which we did an episode on, and she's, a patron for a lot of people who work with dairy, so
Yep.
you need cows for that, or
Yeah.
other animals, but largely it was, Ireland's dairy cows.
Yeah. Yep.
And the other one is St. Perpetua.
As in the martyr Saint Perpetua?
Yes, the Roman martyr.
Was she a milkmaid?
No.
I don't think so.
No, because of the two, one was the upper class Roman lady, and the other one was her maidservant.
Yeah.
So neither one was a milkmaid.
Okay, cows.
Yep.
Awesome.
We also now have one of spiders, which is another one where I'm like, there's not going to be one for this. I couldn't even find, reptiles.
Well, there's the very famous story, like St. Benedict can be invoked against spiders, because like a spider went into the chalice, and at the time they thought all spiders were poisonous.
Yeah, no, this is not against spiders. This is a pro-spider saint.
Why would you? Well, okay, they eat bugs, so I can see the use of spiders.
I have the story. It's Saint Felix of Nola. And
Okay.
he wanted to go and study and be left alone, and people were looking for him.
That's a common thing among the saints.
Yes, so he hid in this room, and while he was in this room, a spider built a giant web over the door, making everyone think that clearly no one's been in this room forever. There's a giant spider web.
Nice.
And that's not New Orleans, Louisiana. Nola. That's a different Nola.
That's a joke I make whenever the feast of St. Paulinus of Nola comes around. Because that's on the calendar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to assume with the, joking why you're in charge of stuff, that they are technically also in charge of New Orleans. Like, one day, they're just getting a bunch of prayers about, I don't know, typical New Orleans stuff. And they're like, what's all this about? And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
So what else you got for us?
We have one in charge of amphibians.
Okay. Okay. Amphibians, sure.
And this one, they're also, from what I remember, a early British one. So they have 4 different names depending on if you're going to go with the Anglo-Saxon, if you're going with the Norman. So it includes sometimes being called Saint Wulfia, Saint Wolf, Saint Olaf, Saint Ufa.
It was a language in flux, so sure, totally.
And then we have the ones that are just, in general, either pets, animals. Someone's insisted essentially St. Francis of Assisi is in charge for whatever exotic you have because they're not covered by the other saints.
Remainders. The patron saint of remainders. Okay.
So, you got St. Francis of Assisi.
Uh-huh.
You got St. Anthony the Great.
Yep.
You got St. Anthony of
Padua.
Yeah.
They preach to the animals.
Yeah, he preached to birds, but he's not on the bird list. It said it's a different St. Anthony. I had a hard time checking him. Which St. Anthony
Which
is
Anthony
with?
are we talking about here? Sure.
St. Cornelius. St. Nicholas of
Tolentino.
St. Blaise.
Good old Blaise.
Pope St. Sylvester. St. Vitus.
St. Vitus dance.
And one that he is a pre-schism saint, but all the stuff I saw on him was largely from Orthodox side, so I think he's more known.
Maybe some of the Eastern
East.
Catholics brought him with them when they came back into communion.
Well, he was from,
Before.
But
he's
he's on both calendars.
Some saints
But
have always been more popular in the East, some more popular in the West.
and I'm going to let you try to pronounce
Saint Modestus of Jerusalem.
who is another, early monk or, desert father type person. So I did not find out exactly why he's in charge of animals, but...
He's a patron saint of animals, so I'm just going to refer to him as Modest Mouse. And hope that I don't get struck by lightning.
No, it's Modestus Mouse.
He's not a mouse, he's a monk!
But a monk should be as meek as a mouse.
Maybe. So, do you know any other patron saints for animals that people keep as pets? As I looked for, popular pets and stuff, and...
Maybe, while not necessarily a patron saint for a particular pet, maybe you have a saint that you pray to when you need to pray for your pet. Who is that?
Yes, I went through many articles of, so you want to pray to someone besides St. Francis of Assisi, but most of them were just, this person had this animal, not that they're officially in any way a patron of. So.
Sure.
But remember, like the patron saint of the internet, if enough people insist they are, that's how you become a patron.
This is how that gets done. I wonder who the patron saint of Pomeranians is, or if it's just St. Rocco.
Now I'm imagining him, because, the dog that he had was probably like a hunting hound type dog, and he's the Pomeranian shows up, and he's like, what is this?
This isn't even a dog!
Gertrude, is this one of your cats? Wait. Is this one of the bunnies? Clearly this is lost.
What is this? So comment below with those saints, give this episode a like, subscribe to our channel, and until next time,
remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.